In this video, I will show you how to crochet a granny square motif. You will need an H crochet hook, scissors or yarn cutter, yarn needle, and stitch holder, and of course, yarn. Let's start. To begin with, what you want to do is you want to make a slip knot about 5 inches from the end of the yarn. I wrap it around my thumb. There's a lot of methods to doing this. So I get a crisscross, and then I pinch it and pull it through. That forms a slip knot. I slip it on my hook, and I'm ready to start. Now I want a very tight center on each of my motifs, so I'm going to do this quite tightly. I also am going to be burying the beginning yarn end at the very beginning of this. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through in a chain 2, 3, and 4. Notice I've used both strands of the main feeding yarn and also the yarn tail. Now I have a little tail left. Just bear with me. If it's not there, it's okay. It could have been used up already. I'm going to slip stitch into the very first chain that I made. And because I have a tail, I'm going to use both strands still, and I'm going to pull through 2. So that forms a very, very tight loop. Now, the yarn tail is gone, so I'm just going to continue by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. That represents the first double crochet. So we'll count that as 1 double crochet. So I have 1 double crochet, insert into the center ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That makes a second double crochet. Yarn over, insert into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 3 double crochets. Now if you notice on this first motif, on the center section of the motif, we only have a side, a corner, a side, and a corner. So there's the 3 little double crochets become that little block. So we have a block, a corner, a block, a corner, a block, a corner, a block, a corner. Four parts. So at this point, we have finished the first block. Now we're going to chain 2 for the corner. Sometimes you'll see patterns that'll have chain 3. That just makes a bigger hole in the corner. I prefer, this is my go-to pattern. It makes a nice tight center, a nice tight corner, not so holy. But some people like them a little holier, so you can do what they'd like to. But principle's the same. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets to make the second block on this ring, on this row. And you're absolutely right, chain 2 for the corner. We're going to do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and that forms our third side. This is our third corner. And then we're going to put the fourth side on. 1, 2, 3, and yes, we have to finish that fourth corner. 1, chain 1, chain 2. Now, this is where we're going to close up this and turn it into a round. We're going to insert our hook right here at the top of the chain 3 at the very beginning. And I'm going to pull through to close the round. Now, this is where I cut it off. I usually leave myself about 5 inches, and I just pull it through. Some people will chain one and they say it locks it. I've never found it to lock it. And then they backstitch their end in. I found that that has come out on occasion. Oops. And then I'm going to thread my yarn needle. Now, do you notice how I did that? I took the yarn around the needle, folded it over, and pinched it and pulled it off the end. And that puts a little crease in the yarn, and then it goes very easily through. Now, this is how I lock down my yarn ends when I'm all finished. I'm going to insert my needle under the next stitch, because if you pull this over, you'll see how that lays out. That goes over this chain up. So I'm going to pull that up, and then I'm going to pick this little loop up and go back into this one and come out the top. Pull it up tightly, and we're set. That locks it in. There's the lock. Now we're going to go to the back and insert the needle through to the back, and then from then on you just slide it around the back loop only until you can't do it anymore because there's too many corners, and you pull it up tight. Now it's all squished up like that, and that doesn't look like our square, but if you pull it back into shape, that stretches the yarn tail out and makes it very nicely. Now, if you really want to secure it, you can cut your yarn off at this point. It'll stay. But some people get worried, so if you back stitch one at this corner and then you start picking it up and wrapping it around that back loop again, you're set. Because the next round is worked over these stitches. And then trim this off. So, you now have your center part of the motif completed. Let's go and move on to doing with a different color. We have 3 colors to do. Now we're going to start the second round. We're going to insert our hook into the corner. Now if you look what we're going to be doing, we're going to be working 2 blocks and the corner in each of the corners. And so you'll have 8 blocks on this square, on this row. Pull up a loop just like we did before. Now this time we're still going to have about a 5-inch yarn end, and we are going to use both strands to do 1, 2, 3 chains for the chain up. But unlike the other one, we're going to pull and continue to pull this loop up until this yarn tail comes through. That really kind of locks that little yarn tail in place. Now we're going to continue working with just the feeder yarn. And we're going to work 2 more double crochets into that same space, because our chain up counts as 1 double crochet, so we have a block of 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets for the second block in the corner. 1, 2, 3. Now we're over the block of the round below. We're going to chain 1. That gives us a little space for adding stitches for the next round. But we don't want to chain 2 because that gives us a big space. This is just a chain 1. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the next corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, What do? Chain 1. Yes, that's right. Then you do 3 more for another block in the next corner. Oops. Gotta pull some yarn out there. 3. Chain 2 for the corner space. 3 more for the second block. Chain 1. 3 more for the last corner. Chain 2 for the final corner, and then 3 more in the same space to finish that one off. 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, and what do we do over the block below? We chain 1. Now we're ready to insert our hook into this very top of the chain 3 at the beginning and slip stitch into it. Now that is a very neat, easy to do second round. Cut our yarn off, pull our loop up. Now, once again, I'm going to start with the longer end, the one that I just finished out. That was our feeder yarn. I'm going to thread my yarn needle, and then I'm going to stitch under here, push that one to the back. Doesn't really matter if it catches on the front. There we go. And I'm going to bring it up through that one, whoops, and here. That little back stitch is what locks it up. Now I'm going to go to the back and pick up the back loops, and that is really quick to do that. Pull it through, pull it up nice and tight, and then stretch it back out so it relaxes. Okay, that one's all woven in. Now, returning to the beginning, that's the starter end. This one we do a little bit differently. We turn it to the back side, and this is already locked in because it was part of that chain. So all we have to do is just bury it. I wouldn't cut it off unless I buried it a little bit. And it's so quick to go through that. Pull it up, once again, stretch it back out, and you're set. At this point, I always trim. If I trim, as soon as I weave in an end, I know that end is woven in. And if they're still hanging out there, I know they need to be woven in. And you always weave in your ends before you start the next round. Now that doesn't mean I don't make 6 or 7 of these, crochet them all up, the centers, and then set them all aside, and they all have their yarn ends hanging out. And then when I feel like it, and then I'll do some that I've already had, I'll do the second borders on ones that have already had their yarn woven in. And then I'll have a pile of these, and then I'll just weave it all in at the same time. And that saves a lot of time and energy in the long run. But never, ever, ever start a next round without weaving in the ends. Always trim off your ends and you'll know they've been woven in. Okay, now we're ready to put on the third round on our granny square. So I have one here. I'm going to insert my hook in any of the squares. If you do it in the corner, you're going to be doing a corner. If you do it on the side, you're going to be doing a side. So with that, I'm going to pull up a loop, just fold over my yarn, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to chain 3 using the double strand, which is the yarn tail plus the main feed yarn. So that's 1, 2, 3. At this point, I pull that yarn tail through, and that for later weaving in, and this represents the first double crochet. So on this one, we want to do 2 more double crochets. 1, 2. So we have a side block, and then we chain 1 between the side block and the corners. In the corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2 to form the corner space, 3 double crochets, chain 1 because we're moving into another side, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 because we're still on the side, we're going into a corner, and then we're going to do one final chain because that's over the space, or that's the side space, and then in the top of the chain here, we're going to slip stitch. We're going to cut our yarn, and that is the square. Of course, we have to weave these ends in as I've already shown you, but we're ready to put it with our rest of our squares. And that is how you make the basic granny square. Okay, so now you've actually finished your motif, and you have all these other ones. This is where the stitch holder comes in handy. Just slip them on until all the ends are woven in, until all the pieces are ready to go and all the colors are added. You know that this is your working stitch holder. After that, when they are all done, I also put all of my finished motifs on a stitch holder because they don't slip under the couch, they don't slip into the seat cushions, they don't sneak off at all. They stay right where I put them. I know these are all finished, and ultimately you have a big mass of them. In the next video, I will show you how to lay out a granny square afghan and then pack it up so it is easy to carry in your project bag, yet maintaining the order of the squares. If you like what you see, please click the subscribe button.